at 70 and walking less. Do these 7 things to truly live again. When you reach the age of 70, or maybe 80, something changes. The body slows. The steps that once carried you quickly across a room now take more time. And sometimes you sit down before you realize you've barely walked at all. It can feel like the world is moving faster, while you are moving slower. And in those quiet moments you may ask yourself, what now? But here's the truth. Slowing down doesn't mean life is over. It doesn't mean your best days are behind you. It simply means life is inviting you to live differently, more deeply, with a kind of wisdom and peace that only comes after walking through so many years. You've carried burdens no one else could see. You've fought battles in silence. You've laughed, cried, built, lost, loved, and endured. That history isn't a weakness, it's power. It's what makes your presence matter more than you realize. Even if your steps are shorter, your spirit is not. Your voice, your wisdom, and your presence still carry the weight of years lived fully. This stage of life is not about measuring how many miles you can walk, but about what you do with the time you still have. It's about nourishing your mind, your relationships, your soul and your body in ways that bring joy instead of pressure. It's about remembering that while your legs may slow, your heart has never been stronger. And so, if walking less has made you feel limited, I want to remind you, you are not limited. You are being invited into a new chapter. One where small actions can make the biggest difference. This is not about survival. This is about living fully, meaningfully, and beautifully, right here, right now. Number 1, strengthen your mind every day. The body may slow down, but the mind can still be a field of endless growth. At 70 or 80, you carry more memories than most people could ever hold. Every wrinkle is a story, every scar a lesson. But here's the beautiful truth. Your mind doesn't have to fade into silence. It can still be sharp, curious, and alive if you keep feeding it. Strengthening your mind isn't about chasing youth or pretending you're padded when you're again. It's about keeping that inner spark glowing so your days feel meaningful and alive. You don't need grand gestures. Sometimes it's as simple as opening a book and letting new words stir something inside you. Reading history, poetry, scripture, or even a novel you never had time for when you were younger can wake the mind in ways nothing else can. And don't underestimate the power of telling your own stories. You have decades of wisdom stored in you, and speaking them out, or writing them down, isn't just for others, it's for you too. Each time you recall a memory, your brain makes connections, keeps itself active, and strengthens like a muscle being exercised. Storytelling sharpens the memory while also leaving a treasure for those who come after you. There are also small mental habits that can keep your brain alive. Working on puzzles, crosswords, or even learning a few words in another language can spark activity in the brain. Some older Americans have found joy in technology. Learning how to use a tablet or phone to video call loved ones, or even trying out new apps. Each small skill learned is like oil to the gears of the mind. But above all, don't let yourself retreat into silence. Conversations keep the mind alive. Sitting with a neighbor, sharing a cup of coffee, or joining a local group at the library can ignite thoughts and remind you that you are still part of something larger. You may not run marathons, but you can still exercise the most powerful muscle you have, your mind. Because the truth is this, when your mind is awake, life feels worth living. Each day has color, each moment has meaning, and while your steps may be fewer, your thoughts can still travel far, wide, and deep. Number 2, build relationships that nourish you. At this stage of life, relationships are no longer about quantity, they are about quality. You've lived long enough to know that not everyone who walks into your life stays, and not everyone who stays deserves to remain close. Time has a way of revealing who truly matters. As walking becomes harder and the world feels smaller, it is relationships that keep your spirit wide open. A single conversation can light up your whole day. A phone call from a friend, a hug from a grandchild, or a quiet moment with a spouse sitting side by side in silence. These are not small things. They are the lifeblood of joy. But to truly thrive, you must choose relationships that nourish you, not drain you. At this age, carrying toxic connections is too heavy a burden. Let go of bitterness, release grudges, and step away from those who bring more stress than peace. You've earned the right to protect your heart and fill your circle with those who love you, honor you, and bring you warmth. This doesn't always mean having dozens of people around. Sometimes just 2 or 3 deep. Authentic friendships can mean more than a room full of acquaintances. Loneliness is real among older Americans, but it doesn't have to define your day. Reaching out, even in small ways, can rebuild connections. A simple note to an old friend, attending a church service, or joining a senior group can open doors to new companionship. And remember, relationships are not just about what you receive, but also what you give. The wisdom you carry is food for the souls of younger generations. When you share advice, listen without judgment, or simply show up with kindness, you are giving more than you realize. That giving keeps your heart alive. Technology, too, can help bridge gaps. Video calls, photos sent by text, or even watching your great-grandchild's school recital online are ways of staying connected in today's world. It may feel strange at first, but learning these tools can keep you close to those you love. The truth is, love doesn't expire with age. In fact, it becomes more precious. Every shared laugh, every hand you hold, every word of encouragement you give or receive, it all becomes the medicine of the soul. So when your steps slow, don't let your heart shrink. Let your relationships grow deeper, truer, and kinder. Because in the end, it's not how far you've walked, but who has walked with you that fills your life with meaning. Number 3, move with purpose, not just steps. There comes a point where walking miles may no longer be possible. Your knees ache, your back protests, and your legs grow tired far sooner than they once did. But here's the truth. Movement is not about distance. It's about purpose. Every small action, every gentle stretch, every moment you choose to rise and move is a victory. You may not run races anymore, but you can still honor your body by keeping it alive with movement that fits your season. Something as simple as standing to cook your favorite meal, bending to water flowers in the garden, or lifting your arms to put on a fresh shirt each morning. All of it matters. These moments may feel ordinary, but they are keeping your body active, your blood flowing, and your spirit engaged with life. Purposeful movement also means finding joy in it. Music has a way of waking up the body. Put on a song from your youth and sway, even if it's only for a few minutes in the living room. Dance slowly with your spouse, or tap your feet to the rhythm. These motions aren't about exercise charts or calorie counts. They're about feeling alive in your skin. If you find yourself sitting too long, look for small ways to rise. Stretch your arms while sitting in your chair, or roll your shoulders to ease tension. If you can, take a few steps down the hall and back. Some older adults in America even practice chair yoga or water aerobics, which are gentle but powerful ways to keep the body moving. These small acts may not seem like much, but they add up to strength, balance, and dignity. And here's something important. Moving with purpose also means listening to your body. You don't need to push past pain to prove your worth. Movement isn't punishment, it's a gift. a reminder that you are still here, still breathing, still capable of engaging with life. By honoring what your body can do, instead of mourning what it can't, you reclaim joy. So no, you may not walk as far as you once did, but each time you rise, each time you stretch, each time you choose to move with intention, you are telling your body, I'm still here, and I'm not done living. Number 4, share your story before it's too late. One of the greatest treasures of reaching 70 or 80 is this: you carry stories no one else can tell. Inside you are entire decades of life, filled with lessons, joys, losses, victories, and quiet moments that shaped who you are. These stories are more valuable than gold, and yet too often they are left untold. Sharing your story isn't about ego or pride. It's about legacy. It's about giving the next generation a window into the strength, courage, and wisdom you've carried. Children and grandchildren may not always say it out loud, but they long to know where they come from. They want to hear about the struggles you overcame, the sacrifices you made, and the dreams you held on to. Imagine your grandchild holding a letter you wrote 20 years from now, reading your words, and feeling your presence as if you were sitting right beside them. That's the power of storytelling. It outlives footsteps. It carries love across time. There are so many ways to share your story. Some choose to write in journals, leaving behind pieces of themselves on paper. Others record their voices or videos, speaking directly to the future. And many do it the simplest way of all, by sitting down at the dinner table and telling a story while others listen with wide eyes. The truth is, stories don't need to be perfect or polished. They need to be real. Your honesty, your laughter, even your tears. These are the things that matter most. Share about the first time you fell in love, the hardest job you ever worked, the day your child was born, or the night you cried out to God for strength. These are the moments that shape families, communities, and generations. And don't think for a second that your story doesn't matter. Every life holds lessons. Every journey holds wisdom. You may think you lived an ordinary life, but to those who love you, your life is extraordinary. Sharing your story also keeps your own spirit alive. It reminds you of how far you've come, of the resilience that carried you here. It transforms regrets into lessons and hardships into strength. And in speaking it aloud, you breathe meaning into every chapter. So don't wait. Don't leave your stories locked away in silence. Tell them now. Write them down. Whisper them to the ones who love you. Because one day when your steps have stopped, your stories will still walk on, carrying your name, your love, and your wisdom into the future. Number 5, feed your soul with gratitude and faith. When the body slows down, when days feel quieter and sometimes lonelier, the soul hungers for something deeper, and nothing fills it more than gratitude and faith. These two are not luxuries at this age. They are lifelines. Gratitude has a mysterious power. It doesn't erase the aches in your knees or bring back the strength you once had, but it changes the way you see everything. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, gratitude helps you see what remains. The morning sunlight streaming through the curtains, the laughter of a child nearby, the taste of a warm meal, the sound of a bird outside your window. All of these are gifts waiting to be noticed. When you say thank you, even for the smallest things, you reawaken joy. Gratitude softens the weight of sorrow and replaces it with a sense of abundance. It reminds you that life is still worth living, still filled with beauty, even if the pace has slowed. And alongside gratitude is faith. Many older Americans find that as the body grows weaker, their spirit grows stronger. Faith becomes less about ritual and more about relationship. It's not just about going to church on Sunday. It's about whispering a prayer while washing the dishes, or reading a psalm in the stillness of the night. It's about knowing that even when others cannot be there, God is. Prayer is not complicated. It doesn't require perfect words. It's simply speaking from the heart. Sometimes it's as short as "thank you" or "help me." And the beauty of faith is that it gives you peace. The kind of peace no medicine can provide, no doctor can prescribe. At 70 or 80, you've seen enough to know that life is fragile, but also sacred, and it's faith that helps you hold on to hope. Gratitude and faith together create a lens that lets you see your life not as shrinking but as becoming richer, fuller, and more eternal. So feed your soul. Start your mornings with a whisper of thanks. End your evenings with a prayer of peace. Let gratitude be your song and faith be your anchor. Because even when steps are fewer, your spirit can soar higher than ever. Number 6. Care for your body with love, not fear. Aging often comes with fear. Fear of illness, fear of losing independence, fear of watching your body change in ways you can't control. But what if instead of fearing your body, you chose to love it? After all, this body has carried you through 7 or 8 decades of life. It deserves care, not criticism. Caring for your body now doesn't mean chasing youth. It means honoring the vessel that has served you faithfully. It's about small, loving choices, drinking enough water, eating foods that give you energy instead of weighing you down, resting when you need rest. It's about seeing your body not as an enemy, but as a companion that still carries you through each day. Visits to the doctor don't need to feel like burdens. They are acts of love. Taking medication, following advice, even asking questions, these are ways of saying, "I still value my life." Too many people at this age neglect themselves, as if caring doesn't matter anymore. But the truth is, every small act of care adds to the quality of your days. Movement is care. Sleep is care. Laughter is care. Even the way you speak to yourself matters. Instead of saying, "I'm too old, I'm too weak," try saying, "I'm grateful my body still carries me." Words have power. The more you speak with kindness to yourself, the more peace you'll find in the body you live in. And remember, caring for your body isn't selfish. It's a gift to those who love you. Your children, your grandchildren, your friends. They want you here. They want to see you smile, to hear your stories, to feel your embrace. When you care for your body, you're giving them more of you. So let go of fear. Don't spend your days worrying about what could go wrong. Instead, spend them cherishing what is still strong, still capable, still alive. Love your body enough to give it water. Give it rest. Give it movement. Give it laughter. Love it enough to treat it with respect. Because at the end of the day, your body is not failing you. It's carrying you faithfully into every new sunrise. Number 7. Stay curious and open to new joys. One of the greatest gifts of aging is freedom. The pressure to prove yourself has faded. The need to rush through life has eased. And now you have something precious, time. But how you fill that time makes all the difference. Staying curious and open to new joys is what keeps life vibrant, even when walking becomes harder. Curiosity is not reserved for the young. In fact, it may be even more important for those in their 70s and 80s. Each day is an invitation to discover something new. Maybe it's learning how to use a new device so you can see your grandchild's face on a video call. Maybe it's trying a new recipe or planting a flower you've never grown before. Small discoveries create sparks of joy that remind you life is still unfolding. Think about all the things you never had time for when you were younger. Back then, life was a race. Work, raising children, paying bills. But now you can finally explore hobbies that once sat in the background. painting, writing, baking, playing music, or even just listening to new styles of songs. All of these are ways to awaken your spirit. And don't be afraid to laugh at yourself along the way. Curiosity often means stepping into something unfamiliar. Maybe you try an exercise class and feel silly at first. Maybe you attempt to learn technology and press the wrong button. That's okay. Each mistake is proof that you're still living, still trying, still growing. Staying open to new joys also means embracing connection. You might join a group at the library, a community center, or a Bible study at church. You might meet people you would have never crossed paths with before. Sometimes the smallest step toward something new brings the biggest blessing of companionship. When you remain curious, life doesn't shrink, it expands. When you welcome joy, age becomes less about endings and more about beginnings. And isn't that what life should be, even at 80? A new beginning, each day in some small but beautiful way. So keep your eyes open, your heart soft, and your spirit willing. Let every sunrise whisper, "Today I will discover something new." Conclusion: your worth is greater than your steps. Reaching 70 or 80 is not the end of the road. It's the crown of a journey well lived. Yes, your steps may be fewer now. Yes, the world may seem to move faster than you can. But don't mistake slowing down for losing value. You are not defined by how far you walk, but by the love you give, the wisdom you share, and the spirit you carry within you. Your life still matters deeply. Every smile you offer, every story you tell, every prayer you whisper, every act of kindness you choose is shaping the world around you. You may not run anymore, but you still lead. You may not work anymore, but you still inspire. You may not walk as much, but your presence still carries weight. This stage of life is not about endings, but about richness. It is about savoring, cherishing, and leaning into the beauty that still exists in every sunrise, every conversation, every moment of stillness. Your worth is not shrinking, it's growing. Because with each passing year, you become more rare, more precious, more needed. So do not look at your shorter steps with sorrow. Look at them with pride. Each one is proof you are still here, still standing, still walking forward. And as long as you are here, life has more for you to see, more for you to give, more for you to become. Your journey is not over. In many ways, it is just beginning.